The world we live in today is a hectic one. People work longer, play harder, and stay up later. They just don't get as much sleep as they used to. But how does lack of sleep truly affect us? I will complete a series of physical and mental tests, once after getting a good night's sleep and once after getting no sleep at all. But what results will these tests yield? Does a lack of sleep seriously affect physical and mental performance during the day? I intend to find out. Alright, so we've journeyed all the way to Wikipedia to find out what the effects of sleep deprivation are, so I can sort of get an idea of what I'm going to put myself through. Sleep deprivation is a common aspect with students due to the fact that almost all schools begin early in the morning, forcing students to get less sleep than they normally would.
How much sleep is recommended depends on how old the person is and how much activity that they're doing. As a rule for teenagers, 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night is what's recommended. However, that's not really what most teenagers get. The younger you are, the more sleep you need, and typically the older you get, the less sleep your body physically needs. However, you may feel that you need more sleep. But typically 8 to 9 hours per person is what's recommended.
Here's my favorite one. Is a form of torture, which makes me so happy that I'm going to be putting myself through this.
Well, I know during the Vietnam War they used it as a form of torture. Yeah, they try to break you down that way. So yeah, in instance, I'm sure it could be used as a form of torture. Just think about how irritable you are if you pull an all-nighter or 2 nights in a row. You get really cranky and crabby, and you might say something that you wouldn't normally say under normal circumstances.
We researched the different symptoms that were common effects of sleep deprivation. Some of them seemed more likely to happen to me than others.
Erectile dysfunction.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. Oh.
Lack of sleep causes erectile dysfunction.
Bogus. So we've looked up some of the effects of sleep deprivation, and I'm probably going to experience more of the short-term ones because I'm not going to stay up for 11 days. But so I'll probably experience, some irritability, some blurred vision, slurred speech, those kinds of things. I don't think I'll have increased aging. Probably won't get diabetes from staying up one night, but it kind of makes sense. Weight gain. Most of America is fat. We're running around all the time, not getting any sleep. We're eating too much unhealthy food, and we're not getting enough sleep. So we have fatties. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a couple of tests. Before, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, and I'm going to see how I do. We'll use those as the control, and then I'm going to get no sleep the next night, and come back the next day and see how I do under that mental stress of getting no sleep.
The next step for us was to see how I performed after getting a good night's sleep. We devised a series of tests for me to do that weekend.
Alright, well, we're here at Sickles Field. I got about 8 hours of sleep last night. I went to bed at 11:30 and I woke up at 8 o'clock. And now we're going to do the first of the control tests where I run a mile, do some push-ups, memory test, coordination test, balance test. So yeah, we're going to start out with the mile. Here we go.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Running the mile, I felt like I was going pretty fast. I felt energized, awake, and for the most part happy.
I don't know if this is a mile, because I sprinted at the end and still had a lot of energy. It doesn't matter though, because I'll just do 2.5 laps for the experiment thing too. It doesn't have to be a mile. All right, what's next?
Next up, push-up test.
I'm gonna do my push-up test now, and it's basically as many push-ups as I can do till failure, which means when I hit the ground, I'm allowed to stop in this position and keep going. But other than that, it's basically all or nothing. So here we go. I guess I'll count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I did about 60 push-ups total. Not too shabby. I wondered if I'd be able to come close to that the next time I attempted the test.
It's good enough for me.
The final test was a mental math test, where I had to solve some simple math equations.
Okay. Now we're gonna do some more math problems. Skippy's writing up some problems for me. I have no idea what they are. And it's sort of gonna be like a rapid fire session, sort of like a Tony Chang thing. Tony Chang was this amazing mathematician kid in my 3rd grade class, and he owned at Math Around the World, so I'm gonna try to strive to be like him. All right.
Okay. 9 times 7.
63.
45 divided by 5.
9.
Sleep, we need to sleep so that, as I said, we can rejuvenate our bodies. Everything we do in life is a chemical reaction, and when we sleep, our body slows down and allows for the chemical releases of endorphins and things like that in our body to, promote the next day's functions.
12 times 12.
144.
Yeah, and then 13 times 3.
That's 26 plus 13, which is 39.
Yes.
All right.
All right, good job.
All right. All right. Here we are in my basement, and I'm gonna stay up all night because that's what this documentary is all about. We're gonna see what happens to me as I progressively get sleepier and sleepier, or not. I don't know. Guess we'll find out, but synchronize your watches, gentlemen, because it is exactly 9:26. Start your engines.
My sleepless quest was going to be a long one. I was going to have to keep the blood going and stay active if I was going to make it through the whole night. We tried a number of video games to keep me awake. It's 11:27, 3 minutes from a half hour to midnight, and I've got sort of like a slight headache-ish. It's like right in here, just a little bit. I don't know if it's from like watching Halo for a long time because I've been watching Halo for a while. And I was a little irritable, but now that my little brother's gone, that's sort of going away, so I don't think that's anything sleep-related. Yeah. Midnight Foosball Tournament. Do I have any what?
Excedrin or something? My head's going crazy.
Excedrin. Crazy. Let's check out the drug cabinet. What we're gonna try next is seeing, since I'm starting to get a little sleepy, it's about 12 o'clock, what Coke does to help my situation. Skippy back there is taking some Advil for his headache, but I'm gonna see if I can drill myself with sugar, and that'll keep me awake and maybe take my headache away. Sounds crazy, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
A lot of times the kids will drink caffeinated beverages, Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts coffee on their way in, but then they get the decrease and the caffeine level goes down, and then they have like a rebound moodiness and they're tired and they're nauseous.
Okay, so yeah, I'm like off the wall. I don't know why. I'm not like sleepy. It's weird because my eyes are droopy. Like I feel like I want to be sleepy, but I also feel like I want to go crazy at the same time. Like super loopy. We're gonna go up and get some pork fried rice. Luckily we have some. I can't believe it.
Around 1, I started to feel loopy again, and I got this hankering for Chinese food. We went upstairs and got some because we had some. It was about now that I started to go a little insane. I started doing some quotes from Canadian Bacon, that movie with Rip Torn, that guy from MASH, and the dude who looks like Mr. Synertia. I started doing one-man renditions of the climax of Star Wars Episode 1. The sugar must have kicked in because I went freaking crazy.
No, Qui-Gon! Train the boy! Train the boy! Master Yoda, I will train the boy. He is too old, he is too old to become a Jedi. I will train him.
So yes, certain foods and caffeinated products would help you, but they also give you side effects like headache, irritability, mood swings, things like that.
I'm having mood swings. Like, I don't know, I'm having some sort of mood swings where I go from irritable and kind of sleepy and tired to like giddy.
You would pay the price by pulling the all-nighter.
Looks like this old person's bought the farm. E-I-E-I-O.
It is precisely 3:10 in the a.m. and I'm getting a little tired, I guess. Just getting that sleepy feeling all the way up and down, you know, just like, you know, the yawningness. This nice slinging vlogging. But, you know, 4 hours, that's nothing. 7 o'clock, time to do my tests. It's game time. Yeah, I'm really tired. Let's find out what happens. Yeah, alright. It is bloody cold out here. Like, I mean frigid. It's a lot worse than it was before, and I think the cold has woken me up quite a big deal. Now we're just gonna see whether or not staying up all night has affected my athletic performance. So let's do it. When I started to run the mile for the second time, I was not a happy camper. It was cold and I was tired. My legs felt like they were gonna cramp at any second. This sucks. This really sucks.
Several things have to be taken into account. You may be able to physically perform better under the pressure of adrenaline. So even if you stayed up all night and you have adrenaline pumping, it may force you to push past what your normal limits would be. However, the downfall of that is after the adrenaline rush is over, your body will actually sink further down than it was before. So your muscles, you will over push them to the point of pain and or injury.
It was weird, because it felt awful first lap around. Then this half of the second lap, I got this burst of adrenaline, and then about there, it ended, and it really hurt to keep the same pace the whole way from there. But I don't know. I felt like I ran that faster than the first time. I don't know. Push-up time. The push-up test was next, and I was not looking forward to it. Last time I did 60. This time, I don't even feel like doing one. Alright. And down. My arms were killing me, and I had to stop and rest every 3 or so near the end. On top of that, I just really didn't want to do it.
I know for one, if I don't get enough sleep, I'm cranky, and that's just me personally, and that sometimes has a negative effect on my attitude. And I think most of you guys who see me throughout the day, I try to have a positive attitude. But if I don't get enough sleep, you may not see that.
54-ish. That makes sense. I didn't want to even do any of them. I have no, what's the word? Desire to work.
If you don't have energy, you're not going to really put forth, for myself personally, if I don't have energy, I'm not really putting forth 100% of my effort. If I'm not putting forth 100% of my effort, it's gonna have an effect on something that I'm doing.
And now my arms really hurt, like real bad. What the hell are all the garbage cans knocked over? We had a raccoon army. Okay, let's do the math test and go home.
Ready?
Yeah.
26 divided by 2.
13,
5 times 7.
35,
21 minus 9.
12.
Being unable to make rational and logical assumptions and judgments come with lack of sleep, as well as just making poor choices and not being able to think things completely through.
13 plus 8.
$21.
Yeah. 9 times a billion.
9 million. Billion. I said billion. I didn't. It came out jumbled. Looking back on the experiment, it's easy to see that lack of sleep affects the body's performance. It affects the mind's ability to handle stress during the day. And it affects the body's ability to do whatever you need to do. Like, you know, pick up big things and toss midgets and bowl with lobsters. It's so hard when you don't have sleep. So, in conclusion, sleep is a natural function of life, and you can't just not do it. You have to fit it into your schedule, because otherwise Mother Nature will take you down.
It's true. It happened to me.